Oh, I'm Ville Wahlbeck, G-PokerStars Pro, and I'm going to be playing some 8 game here. The limit is 4-8, and I'm going to play a couple of rounds of 8 game and go through some other things that I think about while playing these different forms of poker. In 8 game, it consists of 8 different forms of or variants of poker. They are limit triple draw, deuce to 7, the game we are now playing, and then next one is limit hold'em, then limit Omaha 8 or better, Raz, limit stud 8 or better, no limit hold'em, and pot limit Omaha. And altogether those are naturally 8 games, and you can always see the game that's currently played here on the table, middle of the table, on top of PokerStars text, and also on the left corner of your table or your screen here, limit triple draw, deuce to 7. Each game is played 6 hands, and after that the game changes. You can see the number of hands played here on top of your screen. So currently we're playing a third hand of limit triple draw, deuce to 7, and when we reach 6 we change the game, and the next game is limit hold'em. And here I have a hand that I'm going to defend with 8-5-4, small blind raises. I'm going to call, and I'm going to change 2. Okay, we made a pat hand now, 8-7. Not a great pat hand, but still worth a raise since he's drawing. Well, he's not drawing anymore, but since he didn't raise, I'm still thinking that this is the best hand. Best possible hand in triple draw is 7-5-4-3 deuce on the wheel, nuts or number 1. It is unbeatable hand. Obviously, since the flushes count in this game, you can't have all your cards in the same suit, so at least one of them has to be in different suit, and otherwise you'll have a flush, which is a strong hand normally, and so therefore very bad hand in triple draw, 2-7 low ball. The object of this game is obviously to get the worst possible hand in poker, which is 7 high, 7-5 high, and okay, let's see what happens. No, maybe I should have checked that. There was the option of checking for the last draw, because when I bet this hand, I both let him the options of breaking his 9-7, said he had 9-7, and also if he comes out check raising, my hand is not that good anymore. So if I take that hand back, I probably check it on before the last draw, but it all ended up happily, and I won the pot. This is the last hand of triple draw now. Okay, I'm gonna raise with this hand from the button. I don't normally raise this sort of hand, but since I'm on the button, there's a good chance that both of the blinds have pretty rubbish hands, and so I'm gonna just pick the blind there. It didn't happen. I got 3-betted from small blind, changes 2, draws 2, and I'm gonna draw 3. Didn't improve, but this is triple draw, it's difficult to make a hand here. And he draw 2, so I'm gonna still stay in the hand, and this time I'm gonna draw 2, and I'm gonna try to hit 9. He drew 1, so okay, now I have pat 9-10, Definitely not a very good hand, but since he might still be drawing, I'm gonna call this one. And he drew one, and I'm gonna stand pat. That's not good news, since he bets out on the river. And let's just see, in case he's bluffing. These usually are no bluffs, but let's see what he was drawing to. He was drawing to, I'd guess 7, 4, 3, 2, and hit the 9 on the river. Or on the last draw, so. But we were in a good shape before the since we were standing pat and he was still drawing. Nothing wrong with that hand, I think. Okay, now the game changes to limit hold'em. I opened up with pair of 5s. Perfectly decent hand to open with. It's 5-handed poker. And I got again 3 bets from the same guy, this time from the button. This is just about a good flop that I can get with pair of 5s in general. Obviously the best one would be to hit a set or hit something like 2s, 3, 4 when I have overpair and an open ender. But in this case, this flop is 4 pocket 5s is way better than any hand. Any flop that has an ace or a king or a queen or any high or picture cards. Now I got counterfeited here, which is very normal, or not very normal, but it does happen with small pairs in limit hold'em. My pair of 5s pretty much died here on the river, since there's too high a pair on the board. So what I have here is I'm playing the board. I have pair of 10s, pair of 7s and 8 high. My pair of 5s pretty much died. I don't think he's gonna fall here on this board. He's ace high or anything, so I'm just gonna check my pair of 5s. I think he would have insta called with that hand, so I saved 1 bet there on the river, not trying to bluff with those pair of 5s. I just let it go. Very unlucky river. That's poker. Ten 4 suited under the gun, not playable. In general, while playing the 8 game as well as playing any form of poker, you should always look or try to pick up info from your opponents. What sort of hands they play, from which position they open with. Normally, are they tight? Are they very aggressive? Are they playing wild? Are they just playing very solid ABC poker? And based on that info, you're gonna vary your own game or mix your own game. Obviously, against a guy who's very loose, very aggressive, you have to call him down much more lightly than against a guy who's tight and solid. Against him, you have to show much more respect and maybe lay down some relatively strong hands occasionally. Okay, now we're on big blind with 9-8 suited. Definitely going to defend with this hand. There comes the raise, as usually there is a raise in limit hold'em. Someone tries to pick up the blinds or something. Very rarely, or not very rarely, but quite rarely, the big blind just gets his money back. Didn't happen here, so I'm just gonna call with this hand. And I do flop a flush draw here. Small blind bets out. I'm gonna call. If he wouldn't have bet out, I would have bet out. But since he bet out, I'm just gonna call and trying to get more money into the pots in case I hit a club. With this action, I'd say that he has a jack, most likely. Okay, I hit my flush, and I'm gonna bet it out. I still have to bet it out. Didn't like the river. Since he's still I was definitely winning, but because the fourth club came there, I lost some action. If blank comes, he's just gonna call me down. He says in the chat that he had 3 jacks, which I find somewhat questionable. Okay. This is a sort of hand that many players get in trouble with. I'm not going to play this from the button. I definitely would have raised this if everyone would have folded, but against under the gun opener, I don't think this hand is worth playing. Very often he has their own pair or better ace. There are cases when obviously he has king jack or king queen or hand like that, where my ace would have been winning, but I don't know the player. I don't know what sort of hands he plays with, what sort of hands he opens with, so I'm going to give him some respect and lay down ace 3, which is not a very super hand anyways.